The Moon is the Earth's most constant companion and the easiest celestial body to spot in the night sky. Calendar months roughly correspond to the time from one full moon to the next. But the Moon's orbit and phases can seem mysterious. For example, the Moon always shows us the same face, but its size is always changing because how much of the Moon we see changes depending on its position relative to the Earth and the Sun. The Moon is just over a quarter her size of Earth's, with a much larger ratio to those planets over all other moons. This means that the Moon has a huge impact on our planet. There are various theories as to how the Moon formed. But recent evidence suggests that it formed when a giant impact tore apart a chunk of primordial molten Earth, sending the raw ingredients for the Moon into orbit. Scientists suggest that the impacted object was probably about 10% the mass of Earth and roughly the size of Mars. The Earth and Moon are so similar in composition that the collision must have occurred about 95 million years after the formation of the Solar System. Although this theory, most commonly known as the Large Impact Theory, is the dominant theory in the scientific community, there are several other ideas about the formation of the Moon. These include the notion that the Earth captured the Moon, that the Moon split from Earth, or that the Earth may have even stolen the Moon from Venus. The Moon's core is very small, only 1% to 2% of the Moon's mass. It probably consists mostly of iron, but may also contain large amounts of sulfur and other elements. There are many craters formed by asteroid impacts millions of years ago, but the lack of weather has kept the craters from eroding. The average weight composition of the lunar surface is about 43% oxygen, and it also contains silicon, magnesium, iron, aluminum, chromium, titanium and manganese. An orbiting spacecraft has found traces of water on the Moon's surface. This probably originated from deep underground. They also discovered hundreds of holes that could house future long-term researchers on the Moon. Does the Moon have an atmosphere? The Moon's atmosphere is so thin that layers of dust can remain undisturbed for centuries. Also, less air means less heat is retained near the surface, resulting in greater temperature differences. Daytime temperatures on the sunny side of the Moon reach 273 degrees Fahrenheit. Nights can drop to -243 degrees Fahrenheit. The Moon has no significant seasons because the Moon axis is only tilted by about 1.5 degrees. This means that some areas are always in sunlight and others are always in shadow. The Soviet Union sent her first unmanned spacecraft in 1959, followed by the United States' only manned lunar exploration mission. NASA's Apollo space program included 6 missions that landed on the Moon and the ill-fated Apollo 13 that orbited the Moon but failed to land on the surface due to an explosion that crippled the spacecraft. Humans haven't returned to the Moon since 1972.